Welcome, everybody, again to the next episode of the Nashville Diaries. And I'm really excited for my guest today, my girl, Jennifer Jezewski, who's the publisher of Modern Luxury Nashville and the recent Modern Luxury Interiors, right?
Correct.
So she is here with us to talk all things luxury and basically all things Nashville. Okay, so I know we already started chatting before the camera started rolling. But we'll dive in. We'll kind of backtrack a little bit. We'll dive in to just kind of like let everybody know how long you've been here in Nashville, where did you come from before you came to Nashville, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I am really excited to be here with you today. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have been in Nashville for 16 years.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm close to being a native. This is my home.
Yeah.
I'm here for good.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the city change a lot in those 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm originally from Northeast Ohio.
Okay.
I moved here right out of college.
Okay.
And started my career in the hospitality business.
Was it in publication?
No, it was actually, I moved here to work for a destination management company. So I sold the city of Nashville, which was one of the best ways to be integrated into a city, honestly, because I had to take a deep dive into the city. I was lucky enough to do tours at the Ryman, backstage at the Opry.
So fun.
And I just kind of got plugged in, and then I went out and I toured the city. I would bring these people who were going to do corporate meetings and conventions here.
Okay.
And I would tell them all about Nashville. And I kind of
cool.
fell in love with the city that way by learning and then selling it.
And then selling it, selling Nashville.
Yep, selling the dream. The show Nashville did help. When that came out, I always give them credit for how people were like, oh, Nashville. It got on their radar after the show.
Yeah, it did. Yes, it did. Well, that's really cool. I didn't know that that's how you originally got here. So then how did you end up in media then? How did you transition?
Through networking.
Oh, okay.
And that has been a big piece of my story throughout, the whole entire 16 years I've been here. And so I was networking with event vendors and trying to kind of build my network since I had just moved here. And I met a woman, she had moved here from Florida. Okay. And she was with Perfect Wedding Guide. And so they launched a Perfect Wedding Guide here in Nashville.
Okay.
And so she and I went to coffee one day and she said, I really feel like this would be a great opportunity for you. We'll be building something. We have a corporate backing, but it'll be us, integrating the publication. And we ended up starting our own networking events in the industry and then building out bridal shows.
Okay.
And so I did that for a while. And then I actually went back into events.
Okay.
So when I moved here, I brought 2 resumes. Okay. One was for the Key Event Group. Okay. Which is a destination management company. And one was for Destination Nashville. I ended up working for both.
Oh,
so my first job was Key Event Group.
Okay.
Then did the Perfect Wedding Guide thing. And then again, through networking, was offered a position at Destination Nashville and went back into selling the city.
That's really cool. And I know we started kind of diving into networking, and I think it's kind of important to bring that into the podcast because I think a lot of people here who are going to be moving here, or like myself, when I first moved here, you're trying to figure out your place. Where do I meet people? Where do you find your people, right? Like community and stuff. So what is your suggestion, I guess, for somebody who's moving here or who may have recently moved here to find their people?
Yeah, I think networking is huge. I tell everybody, network, just get out there. Yeah. And I tell people 2 things. This city is booming. Yeah. You could go to something, multiple somethings in one night. So try everything. And then don't get discouraged if something isn't the right fit. Yeah. Like, so if you show up, I've had some people be like, well, I showed up and there were only 3 people there. I know, girl, sometimes it's a bus. Sometimes you hit it out of the park and sometimes it's a bus. So, right. So don't let that discourage you. You will get there, you know? And so start plugging in. I was mentioning before, and I'll bring it back again. I was plugged into the hospitality space. So really connecting with event vendors. When I started my position with the Nashville Post, I was building my book of business in the technology and healthcare space. Okay. And so I started plugging into those networks with the Nashville Technology Council. and in different healthcare organizations just to plug in and grow my network.
Okay.
So if you do have a goal in a specific industry, that could be something that you let lead where you decide to network or just plug in.
Yeah.
Co-working spaces. I know we were just talking about Kathy Thomas, who has Collective 615, who was on your podcast. Maybe a co-working space. If you're working from home and want to get out, maybe find your network in that type of community as well.
That's great.
So just plug in and you'll find the right place, and don't get discouraged if the first couple times are busts.
And how do you recommend people find the networking places? Is it Instagram? Is it LinkedIn? Where do they go to find those
networking
events?
I've done all types of things. So I've Googled, I've even done that with some of my sales team. I'm like, I've Googled some events. This might be good for you guys. Okay. LinkedIn, of course. There are groups of, if you're wanting to plug in with, people in the event space, women, Heels and Handshakes is a great one. My girl Shannon Stewart, she's a great place to plug into. You can find pretty much anything. Yep. Instagram is great too. Obviously, then they'll start serving you algorithm things that, make sense to what you're looking at. Events. So maybe do that first. Maybe it'll make it easier for you. But I Google a lot. I'm on LinkedIn a lot. Okay. And then I ask people I'm meeting with for coffee, are there places that you're plugged in that based on the conversation we've had, you know kind of what my goals are, where should I plug in? Because again, if I've been here 16 years, if you came to me and told me XYZ, this is what I'm trying to do, I could probably give you some recommendations.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a great idea. I think people need to remember, just ask for referrals, ask for recommendations, ask for that. That's really good. That's smart. So you've been here 16 years and you've seen Nashville landscape completely evolve. And now as the publisher of the most iconic luxury brand, probably in publication, Modern Luxury Nashville, how did you end up there? And then once we kind of go through that, I'd love to know your opinion on the development of luxury here in Nashville since you've been here for 16 years.
Yeah. So how I ended up at Modern Luxury. So Modern Luxury is the largest luxury media company in the country.
That's amazing.
And Nashville is our 24th market.
24th.
Yeah. So we have 24 markets and 65 brands.
Okay.
And it was just honestly the right time for me to move on. I had been at my current publication for almost 9.5 years. And I honestly wasn't planning on doing, but I think that Modern Luxury had their eye on Nashville for a really long time. Okay. With the growth of the city, the growth of the luxury space, a lot of our markets are working with these large fashion brands. Dolce & Gabbana was our presenting sponsor for the launch party. And a lot of them are looking at Nashville and coming here. Hermes is opening.
I know.
So I think that was a big factor. Our partners were saying, hey, Nashville is a place we want to plug into. Are you guys planning on going there? How is that going to play out? When is that going to play out? Because we want a media partner here. And so having those conversations consistently is why Modern Luxury decided to come here. Okay. And they reached out to me, and I just had a coffee with the CEO and our market president now, Deanne, who is probably one of the best bosses I've ever had.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
hopefully
powerhouse.
They're listening.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell her she's a powerhouse in herself. I hope I can be half of the leader that she is.
That's awesome.
So it was just a good fit. And I knew being here for 16 years, I've always said there was something missing media-wise. Okay. And I wasn't sure, there are great publications in this town, fantastic publications in this town, and they fit their niches. Yeah. But there was just one little space. I felt like there could always be something. Yeah. And I think that's what Modern Luxury has stepped into.
Love it.
And there has been such support for this brand and just a resounding yes, this is what we needed. Yes. I feel like there's a place here. And then, so many people have moved here and they're so familiar with modern luxury in our other markets. And they're like, I moved here and I was like, where's the modern luxury parties? Yeah. How do I get plugged in? How do I get the magazine? I need to know what to do, where to shop, what to eat.
Yeah.
And it just fills me up. And I love to be doing something where people are, looking for it and it's feeding a need. And I love that.
Well, I know when I first moved here, I was looking for that. I was like, where's Nordstrom? Where do I go to shop? And I'm in Hendersonville. So, and there was no real mall other than, well, there was Rivergate, but that closed down or is closing down, I guess. But I was like, where do I go shopping? And so then when I found Green Hills Mall, I was like, gosh, I have to drive all the way from Hendersonville to Green Hills Mall. I'm like, is this the only luxury kind of shopping experience in the city? But when I walked in and I saw Chanel and Louis and all the things, I was like, okay,
I got my people.
I found my place. This is all good. I could see myself here. So it's really cool. Is there a luxury brand that you would love to see come to Nashville?
I honestly am really excited about Hermes.
Yeah, me too.
So I feel like that would have been the one that I would have said
really
before.
Okay.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. I'm really excited about some unique opportunities that hopefully we'll be able to do with them, with the brand.
Love it.
And just personally, I think it'll be a really good and the location is also exciting. To your point, being in Wedgwood, Houston, we have Soho now. It's right there. So I really feel like they're going to try to make that a secondary location for luxury, which I love these little areas that can be plugged into for shopping. I think that's going to be huge for us.
Well, I'm from Chicago. And so we had the Mag Mile. Everybody knew that that's where you went for luxury shopping in Chicago. It was an elevated experience. And so I feel like that area is kind of like outside of a mall will give you that elevated luxury shopping experience that you don't have to go to a mall for, kind of like how Mag Mile was for us in Chicago. So
and I
that's
haven't
exciting.
Had this conversation with anybody who's developing or any of that, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that was probably an idea of like, let's mirror, because I think we're doing that in general. Like, this works here, let's bring it to Nashville.
Yes.
But tweak it, make it Nashville.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the fashion brands are looking at Nashville, as I mentioned previously, and they're wanting to figure out, how do we plug into this market? How do we get in front of the consumer? What, Nashville is a unique place, a unique market.
Yeah.
So we've been having those conversations too. Like, I mean, even whenever we were Modern Luxury was coming, it was good to have somebody local here to bring in those resources, because Nashville's a special place.
It really is. It feels even special here. Like it's just, there's a feeling here. And people that I talk to that relocate here, I've had some people on the podcast and they just talk about how wherever they were, whether it was California or New Jersey or New York or wherever, Chicago, like for me, but there was just a moment where you're like there's this like exhale that happens, and you just feel like, okay, like this feels good.
A little bit of space.
Yeah, it just feels, there's a feeling here for sure.
I always joke that when I moved here, I remember being in the grocery store and the woman in front of me started talking to me. I was like, whoa. Who is she talking to? And now I am the girl at the grocery store. It's like, hey girl, I love your top. Like, oh, your kid's so cute. I mean, it's me.
That's so funny.
But everyone is like that here. It's so welcoming. And so maybe that's just like you take the collective, like, oh, this is my place, because people are wonderful and
it is.
Community is great and everyone's welcoming. So and again, that was 16 years ago. I feel like it's always been the case.
Yeah, and it's growing so much. I mean, I'm the same way. When I lived in Illinois, I drove into my garage, closed the garage, you went in your house, and that was it. You very rarely said anything to your neighbors, unless on an occasion you guys were outside walking the dogs at the same time.
Wow.
And so for me, that was a huge shocker. That was something that like, whoa, everybody's waving at you when you drive down the street. Yeah. No matter whether it's your neighborhood or not. And, as an agent, of course, I'm in, neighborhoods all the time. Yeah. And every community I go into, somebody's waving. And I'm like, this is just the culture here. It's just natural, you know? Like talking to somebody you don't know in a grocery store line, you know? It just, and that feeling, it just that I guess vibe of Nashville, I think, is why people feel like they feel at home here. It just feels very homey.
Agreed.
So yeah, for sure. So is there anything that you like to do, like in the luxury space of Nashville, since we're talking luxury, what do you enjoy doing for yourself on your off time?
So my husband and I love food. We are big foodies.
Okay.
Yes. We love to cook. We love to eat out. Dining is definitely something. And again, I think that we've always had a great food scene here. Yeah. But the amount of fine dining and then just like the chefs, it's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, I still have places on my, I have a running list when things open.
Me too.
Like, hey, we got to go here. We got to go here. I still have places
I'm going to Still Gin tonight.
Yes. I haven't been to some, I still have a list. It's like, I can't get to the bottom of this list because things keep coming.
Yes. Yeah.
So in our spare time, I definitely think, and we have a almost 2-year-old. And so those are great date nights. So we can go out and try new things and have good date nights and experience food and culture. And we just did there was a Michelin chef who came in to the Grand Hyatt and did a 2-night dinner.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a Spanish cuisine inspired. It was so good. This is what I'm talking about. This is living. They had a wine pairing. It was very luxury. Yeah. Very, I felt like I was in a different country. It was just incredible. Yeah. And so I think that's really what we love to do.
I love it.
Is really experience the food and dining here. And then, we've had some staples that have been here forever, like Margot Cafe in East Nashville is one of our favorite places that we go on the regular.
Okay.
And I mean, that is just, you can't find anything better. Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah. And that's been here forever.
Do you have a hidden gem that you think should have more attention? That you're just like, oh my gosh, this is the best ever, but it's not talked about enough?
I will tell you, a lot of people, anytime we have people, like my girlfriend who just moved here from Chicago, we took her to Margot. Okay. And she was like, I had not even heard of this place. Yeah. Because it's not new.
Right.
It's not the new and shiny. It's kind of like the old and shiny.
I love it. The old and shiny.
The old and shiny. Cute. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like that is probably one of the ones I always tell people. Okay. You may not Google it. It may not pop up, but it's a place you need to go to.
Well, I will have to go. I don't think I've been there. Oh, Margot, see?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's one of those places. I love
it. Like, I love the hidden gem stuff, right? Because those are the things that surprise you. Like, I'm posting one today that just surprised us. It was just like, let's just stop in here. And then we're like, whoa, this is good.
Was it 888?
No.
Oh, that did it for me. I was like, what is this 888 place? Yeah. Because it's kind of hidden. And I opened up the curtain and I was like, oh, hello. I know.
That is me and Chris's like new fave. I love it. And I love the people and I love the chef and I just love the service. And it just feels so like, you feel like, I don't know, it's just the vibe there is like, it's so chill.
Good vibes.
It's
good vibes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's great.
Okay.
I love that place. That's why it was my guess. I was like, is
that your favorite?
It's one of my new favorites for sure. Definitely one of my new favorites.
Do you have any other new faves?
I think that would be my newest fave.
That's my newest
There's
fave.
definitely some new ones on my list. Okay. That I need to go to. Okay. I need to look at my list.
Yeah.
And I would let
I
you
have
know
a running list too from 6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I still have not gotten
to the bottom of the list.
Because it just, every time we're like, oh, we're going to try this, something new opens, and then you want to go try the new thing, and then you're like, we still can't make it to, like, I told my husband, I think we could go out probably every night of the week. Yeah. And still maybe not hit everything in a month.
Have you been to Iggy's?
No. See?
Good. Paleto?
Yes.
Good.
We did.
Okay. Say that we did. This is like, all right, let's play a game.
Have you been here?
I've been here. Have you done this? Have you done that?
I I love it. Well, that's what happens when foodies, right? Start chatting.
It gets funny. Yeah. If my husband was here, we would never stop talking. He loves the food.
Does he? Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, how should you like a date night or something? Foodies unite.
I would love that. He would love that too. Yeah. Let's do it. We're in.
Yeah, we're in. So talk to me a little bit about motherhood, because you do have a 2-year-old.
I do.
Yeah. So how has that been? I mean, obviously you just mentioned, you're like, I'm not really an entrepreneur, but I run my business like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get, because your business is all about relationship and networking, like we said. So how is that? How do you juggle that with being a new mom and a wife and all the things?
Yeah. It's a lot. Motherhood is, I honestly feel like it is a lot like entrepreneurship and a lot in certain ways, just because it'll break you down.
Yeah.
It'll break you down in such a hard but beautiful way. And you have no choice but to keep going.
Oh, that's good.
Because you are the mother. You are the one. I mean, I breastfed her for 13 months.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, that's such a blessing. I had to go back to work.
It was, I pumped.
Yeah.
I pumped a lot, and it wasn't as, I mean, again, pumping, I'm thankful that I was able to pump, but nursing was the most beautiful thing
in the world. Absolutely.
And I was always somebody who didn't think I would ever enjoy it. But as soon as those hormones kicked in and she was here, I was ready to go. But yeah, I think that you are somebody's everything. And then with the business side of it, you have to keep going and you have to keep plugging into it, because it won't survive without you.
Yeah.
So again, there's differences.
I love that parallel.
But I think because I experienced both motherhood and then launching a new publication in such a short amount of time. So Isabel will be 2 in a month.
Okay.
And we launched Modern Luxury in June of last year. Yes, I'm
nothing like drinking from a fire hose.
This is hair dye from all the gray hair. It's fine.
You're like, I'm okay. I'm
really good, people. Don't be concerned.
I love it.
No, but I think because I had these experiences back to back, I really have a unique perspective. And it has been both wonderful and soul crushing at times and expansive.
That's a great word for it.
Yeah.
Such a great word for it.
I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed. I have the most beautiful child. I have given her so much and she's thriving. Thank the good Lord. Yeah. She is thriving. And then with the business, I just love it. I love Modern Luxury. We have this great corporate backing. I have, like I mentioned before, an incredible mentor and boss that leads, our market as well as the Atlanta market. It's hard. Yeah. Every day is hard but wonderful. Yeah. You're building you're making sure distribution is right, making sure advertisers are happy, making sure we're building the brand. So there's a lot of parallels. And
so many. I never really thought about it like that until you said it.
I think it's
really good.
I've been in it, and so now I've come out with this perspective, and it's honestly helped me realize that you really can't you can't have it all at once. And that's okay. You don't have to.
Sure.
You just have to decide, okay, I have 24 hours. Let me get through, pick 3 things. I've read this book called You Pick 3. Okay. That I highly recommend. And it basically says you can have it all, but you just can't have it all one day. And so there are buckets of things, right? There's time with my daughter. There's networking. There are, emails that need to be done. There are business meetings I need to conduct. And there's time with my husband. Yeah. So every day, and again, health is huge, right? So taking care of me.
Right. Our me time.
Yeah. So every day.
It's a bucket often that gets pushed
right.
to
That's
the
why
side.
I went back to like, wait. Me. That's a bucket. I need to remember more.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so every day it's like, okay, today I had a networking event. I have a couple of business meetings, but I was able to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Tonight, I'm going to spend some time with my daughter and my husband. Tomorrow night, I have a dinner for work. So, you can do everything, just not in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think I learned because I was trying so hard to do everything and I was failing at everything.
Did you feel burnt out?
I was so burnt out.
Yeah.
But I also was like, what is wrong with me? I used to be so good at everything. What is happening? And I'm like, no, you have so much on your plate. You're still good. You just need to space out things. And you don't have to be so hard on yourself when you don't have time to.
The grace.
Yes.
The grace that we need to give ourselves. Yeah.
Yes.
That's so good. Do you do like time blocking now? Is that kind of how you do your schedule?
Yeah. And it really helps being able to really focus on certain things at certain times. And then, I'm very intentional with my time with my daughter whenever I pick her up from daycare and then we are home together before she goes to bed. I put my phone up.
Good for you.
And
good
people
for you.
know, if you need to get a hold of me, call my husband. He'll find me. But again, those, it's only a few hours.
Yeah.
And so I can put my phone up and be intentional. And then I'm, booking it all day long while she's at daycare, making sure I get my stuff done.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's what you do,
Absolutely. 100%.
But again, I went through a period of time where it was not like, I'm sitting here saying, oh yeah, I'm getting this done.
Yeah.
It was not like that. I was, again, I thought I was failing at everything and I was drowning. It was just that time where I was expanding and I was figuring it out. I was being broken down and kind of losing my way a little bit and letting myself take the back burner. And then it was like, okay.
What was that pivotal moment where you recognized that? Like where there was a shift, like there was a before and then a definitive after. What happened then?
I remember talking to, it was either my husband or one of my good girlfriends, probably both, to be honest. And I remember the feeling of feeling like I was suffocating. And I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually suffocating.
Yeah.
But I felt that way. And it was, in the middle of like baby and breastfeeding and, work and being a wife and everything. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I am suffocating and I just don't know how to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
And I just kind of felt, I don't know. I struggled a lot with postpartum anxiety.
Okay.
So that was a big part of it too. And so I just had to kind of reevaluate everything and figure out a new way. And that's why I say it breaks you down, but you rebuild.
Yeah.
And you rebuild stronger and more intentional.
Yeah.
And in a new way because your life has changed. You are a mother. And
you gotta figure it out.
You gotta figure it out, you just do. And but that's what we do as women. We are just, we figure
100%.
And again, we may have some time where I'm down here and I'm crying in the corner and I'm whatever. But I will get up
and I'll
figure it out. Just give me some time.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm sitting here as you're talking about it. I have a going to be 28-year-old.
I cannot believe that.
28 years old this year. Like, and even just like I'm listening to you and I'm thinking as you're talking about those experiences and I'm like, ooh, girl, I feel that at like the soul level, right? Because there's so many things that you go through when you're raising a child. And I did mine on my own.
Oh,
so
good for you.
That's
incredible. I can't. Yeah.
I mean, I had help. Don't get me wrong. I had an amazing support system. But as far as having somebody else in the home with me, I did that on my own. And so there are so many.
Seriously, I just want to like hug you right now because
I will always take a hug. So
after this, we're hugging it out, girl. Hard for all the times that you needed a hug when you were doing this on your own and you needed one. Because I know how that feels. I mean, again, I have a great, wonderful husband, but I just mean like, I get it. There are times where it's just you.
It's just you and you have to figure it out. And you're looking at this little human and you're like, okay, like you want to have the breakdown, and you do.
Oh, yeah.
You do.
Oh, you do.
But then you're looking like, okay, I have to, even if figuring it out, like you said, you feel like a failure along the way, you're still doing the best you can.
100%.
And I think that's when I said the grace, right? And I had to learn to give myself grace as I was going there. It's not like a manual is handed to us and you're like, okay, today I'm going to follow
That would be
this.
wonderful. So someone out there, please create that.
A day-by-day journal.
Seriously, I don't have time, but yeah, let's,
Awesome.
somebody do this for us, please.
And so I think that you hit the nail on the head so well on like parenting and entrepreneurship or business in general. Yeah. And it's like, this needs me to survive. And I have to show up even on my worst day.
Yeah.
And I still have to show up and I still have to try and I still have to put my best foot forward. And eventually something is going to work out, you know? And so I look at my son, I just love that kid to death. Like I always say he's my heart walking outside my body, right?
It's so true.
And, you just look at them and you just hope like, oh, I just hope I did the best I could for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, so that's so good. Like, I'm sure that will help a lot of people watching, because I think as mamas and highly ambitious women, we can all relate to that feeling of like, some days I feel like I suck. And then other days I'm like, okay, I'm really good at this. And then another day you're like, oh, great, I failed.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. That's why I say that. Don't, it's so easy to look at people and be like, wow, she's got it all. She's rocking it. She's doing all these things. But just know every single one of us has had those days.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to take those days and cry or just, veg or go to acupuncture, go to therapy. Yeah. I feel like everybody should be in therapy.
Yeah, that's really good.
Go for a walk with your girlfriends, take the time you need, especially when you're burning out, especially when you're somebody's everything, like a new mom.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is. 100%.
Okay. And you'll come back.
Yeah.
Sit in that for a minute. Don't sit there too long.
And, I'm just thinking as you're talking about that, it's like we're talking about luxury, right? And it's like, it's also a luxury to treat yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like luxury,
That's so true.
Right? And it's like, don't treat yourself like you're an option. It's like give yourself that luxury feeling of whatever it is. It doesn't mean go spend a lot of money for it to be luxury. It just means if I want to go sit in the bathroom, in the bathtub, in a bubble bath with a glass of wine and some jazz music, then that's my luxury.
100%.
And so I think that just kind of bringing this back full circle, it's like, luxury outside in Nashville. Yes, we have a lot of options, but also create that luxury for yourself, even if it's in your own home.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. I love it.
Yeah.
Jennifer, I could talk to you forever.
I could talk to you forever. Let's go get coffee after this.
Let's go. We got what is that scone that we still need to get from Joe?
The gluten-free cinnamon scone.
Well, I just adore you. You're such a sweetheart. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast and chatting it out with me. And I know that a lot of people will get a lot of value out of this, and especially those who are moving into the luxury side of Nashville. And so tell people that may not have the publication yet, how do they get the publication? Where do they go to get signed up to get the magazine?
Yeah. If you go to mlnashville.com.
Okay.
It's our website. You can sign up to be on our distribution list.
Okay.
And you can sign up for our newsletter as well.
Okay.
So you'll receive the publication, and then you will also be plugged into our network for our digital newsletter and then our parties.
Ooh,
which are always fun too.
Speaking of
networking.
Yes. I know I'm coming to the one in May.
Yes. Power Players.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good
fun.
one.
I'm excited.
Very excited.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. Thanks for listening to the Nashville Diaries. If you're looking to move to the Nashville area and feeling overwhelmed, grab my free guide to Nashville's top luxury suburbs and neighborhoods. It's your shortcut to finding the perfect place to thrive. You can download it now at www.movetonashvillewithtrista.com. See you next time.